Testing, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Okay, cool. All right, the YouTube stream is now live. So let me check and make sure that. So now you were saying that earlier that we're supposed to get an email from YouTube or something that we're streaming already. Has that been the case in previous? Laura, that was a question to you, or actually Bryce as well.
That was a question to me. Sorry.
Yeah, basically.
I have never set up the stream, so I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Bryce? If you can just answer in the Jitsi chat. Okay, still working on setting up my headphones. Because I actually do want to get the link of the YouTube stream. That's the only crappy thing about the YouTube dashboard. Oh wait, never mind. I see it right there. Okay, I'm good. Let me see. Just want to make sure that this is actually okay. Cool. So let me just go ahead and toss the link to the video right there, and I'll also post it in. Let's see. We have meeting agendas, meeting minutes. I'll go ahead and post the link to the video itself into meeting minutes for now. Everyone actually needs to access it. But anyway, so yeah, there is the link to the live stream, and it's running, and it's currently showing the Rocket Chat general page. So with that being said, I will just go ahead and give my update for the weekend. So over the weekend, a couple of different local Pirate Party groups from the California Pirate Party went to the March for Science this weekend. And we had decent turnout in a couple of the different areas that we went to. We were able to get some chatter started on the Instagram and the Twitter. We haven't really updated our Facebook pages with anything yet. I'm not sure if the Greater LA area has done any from them, but hopefully we can get some stuff on Facebook after we've kind of collected everything that we have and that we get it up there. So just from that, I have some early observations. Getting the account stuff set up for me on my mobile device was kind of a pain in the morning, but with the help of some people in the party, I was able to get everything set up. And there was a lot of stuff that I had to go through, I had to get the login information, and then I had to get everything set up on my mobile device, which meant setting up Google on my mobile device, which meant that, for some things that I was able to log into, I still had to do verification emails and stuff like that. So it took a little while to get set up, but it was set up, basically just in time for the event. That being said, if anybody felt that I was being someone freaking out about it or whatever, that's totally fine. I get it. Don't take it personally. I was just really, I really wanted to make sure that we were getting some sort of representation on our social media accounts, because really, in today's world, that's how you get yourself noticed. That's how you get people information about your group. That's how you just get out there and get noticed. With that being said, for social media in particular, Instagram is a lot easier to use just for posting videos and photos than Twitter is. Twitter does it okay as well, but it's just not nearly as seamless. We can consider other social media platforms. I know that there are a couple of different ones that have been mentioned, but at the same time, we need to focus on where the people are. And Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook meet that criteria. I mean, I know that we've considered talking about Snapchat and some other maybe lesser well-known social media circles, but I think that for now we should really focus on the major ones that we know that people use. And it was also just suggested that we use the IFTT platform for sharing. And I think that's a fantastic idea. I've used IFTT myself, and it works really well for basically doing one thing and having it posted on a bunch of different accounts and whatnot. And I highly recommend that we use that advice and go with that. The other thing that we need to kind of set down on is hashtag awareness. Hashtags are a great way to collect content across multiple social media accounts, and as a group, we should sit down and settle on some hashtags that we should use when we're doing these long-term events like this. A couple of ones that have already been suggested are Set Sail and Pirates Rising. They're good and they're kind of catchy and they seem to work pretty well. We also need to figure out what we're going to be doing with, like, because I know that GLAP is one, or GLAPP, I guess. And there's also CAPP. And one thing I noticed was that CAPP was actually already being used by some other group, and it was being used for some other acronym. So I figure it's okay as long as we can saturate ours just deeper and just update it constantly so that that hashtag comes to be associated with the California Area Pirate Party. And going on from that, this was just from general Pirate Party feedback from people that I had met that have actually been want to be involved in the party and whatnot, is that we need to, as a group, officially settle on using Slack or Rocket Chat. And I think that it's important that we just settle upon a chosen platform and go with the one that's easier for outside people to join. I've personally found that while Slack has a better UI than Rocket Chat, that Slack is a lot harder to get people into the channel because it requires an email invite and all that. Additionally, we should be probably using Rocket Chat just because it's very easy for someone just to join it, because all they do is just send them to a link where they create an account and just hop in. But the other thing about that was that we have way too many channels. If anyone new were to come into our group and see like the 20 channels that we have, they would have no idea basically which ones are the ones that they should join and which ones are the ones that are active, whatever. And what I've noticed is that pretty much every single person in Slack that has joined General has also joined all of the other channels. So at that point, it's kind of like if we wanted to make sure that only the right people are in the right channels, that's kind of a moot point because people have joined every channel anyway. So we should really try to focus down and really slim down the number of channels that we have. And lastly, one thing that I thought of after this weekend is that, and I will actually write up a official proposal for this, but we need to have some sort of a home base operator or field coordinator or whatever. So when we have a big event like this, like the March for Science, we need someone that's not at any of the events that can help to manage the social media accounts and make sure that the tweets that we're sending out are accurate, and being able to edit any of the tweets by, you know, adding names of people that we're taking pictures of or whatever. And just having someone like that whose job basically is to make sure that if anyone in the field needs support, that they can help them. What that basically means is that you're going to have one person sitting at a computer with, you know, basically their phones starting at like basically 8 in the morning on the day of the event, and their whole job will just be on a support basis and to just help make sure that you know, all of our social media accounts are going and that we have information getting sent to every single one. And I think that that would be a really good thing for us to set up going forward, especially as if we start bringing in more people and get larger. With that, I think that's pretty much it. So, Laura, if you want to go ahead and give your update.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, my camera is acting up, so sorry.
That's totally fine.
Okay, so first, my treasurer hat. In the past month, we've income of $191 in donations. We've had expenses of $110. No, that's not correct. $130 something. Sorry, I'm just consulting my pad. Anyway, this balance is correct. The balance in our checking account is now $258.79. if you want to see the detailed numbers, before meetings, I'm going to post the year-to-date financial statements on the website. So if you go to calpirate.org and scroll down to the footer, the financial statements are there in a link called Financials. So you can see all the numbers and what we've spent the money on. The big ticket item this time was the business cards and the folding cards as our beta test for publicity materials for the March of Science that people went to. And I went to the Rosa. I took my 7-year-old daughter. She wanted to come with me. So we had lots of fun. And she helped me pass out business cards. And there were about 2,000 to 3,000 people at the Santa Rosa March. It was a pretty good turnout. So that was my March for Science hat as well. And then for my website hat, some people were requesting a direct link to our beta test or whatever of the Adhocracy platform. That also in a footer menu on the website called Tools. So if you go to the website and scroll down, in the tools there's the Etherpad and now the Adhocracy link, and another link to the Rocket chat, so for members to use. And are there any other questions? Because I'm done.
Okay. One thing I do want to bring attention to is that the Greater LA Pirate Party has actually been doing a lot of work in trying to basically help us set our ship right. And they've actually set up a GitHub that they're using for basically allowing people to see the issues that are kind of up and around and how we might be able to work on those issues. Like, that's a really good idea of how it's set up, where you can kind of go through each individual issue and add comments and whatnot. So it looks like it's kind of like a more tech-friendly version of Adhocracy. Adhocracy is very
I'll add a link to that too, so people can test it out.
Okay. What Tanager just said was that they, for example, have an issue up that's about condensing the channels on Rocket.chat, and I completely agree with that. It's something that we need to do. Tanager, do you have any other updates? So you can just toss them into Rocket Chat, and I can just parrot them back out to the stream.
All right, I have some family business to care of, so if there's nothing else for me, then I need to sign off.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Thanks for the update.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Yep. And I think with this, I will go ahead and pass it off to Bryce if he has anything that he wants to go with.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. I don't really have any updates. I'm still in the process of getting familiarized with all the news as of late. I've been in this move that took way longer than anticipated. So nothing on my end. Looks like it looks like the Walk for Science went really well. I'm in the process of looking for more events for us to have, especially for us Bay Area folks to have, whether it's just like get together at a local bar or heading out to a park or something. I know Orion and I were talking about a get together around mid-May for an afternoon in Dolores Park in San Francisco. So I think that's something that we'll be adding to the events page and see about getting some advertisement going for it.
Okay, cool. All right. On that, I actually have been looking at the Greater LA Pirate Party has been updating their section of the California Pirate Party Wiki. And one thing that they actually are doing, which I find very interesting and cool, is that they actually have a sort of unofficial meeting, like every Monday at a certain like bar or something like that, just for people to come together and talk about it. And then they have like an official meeting that they do, just like once a month on Saturdays or something like that. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a really good example that we should try and pattern for some of the other local groups, because it kind of fulfills a physical, social sort of element that we've actually been missing for quite a while because we've been focused so much on the online presence that we've kind of pushed the physical presence into the background. And I think it's really good to maintain both a physical and a online presence, because otherwise, you're kind of not fulfilling the whole concept of what a political party is, which is action at a local level, and that's really what we should be focusing on. And I think one of the things that really was well reverberated this weekend was that focusing on city council and like school board type elections is probably the best way to do it. And then, as Henninger has also mentioned, that Signal is also a good thing to get set up, just because of how secure it is as a chat platform. And that's something that we should probably continue promoting as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we should get or assemble the Bay Area folks together and find a middle ground for all of us to meet. I'd imagine it's someplace by a BART stop or something, just like a bar that we can all show up to, every week or every other week or something like that.
Yeah, I would highly recommend something like San Mateo, because I know it's right off of Caltrain, and that's kind of like completely right in the middle between San Francisco and like Peninsula folks. So that's kind of like a perfect spot.
Cool. I'll do a little bit of research into some spots in San Mateo that we can all link up at.
All right, cool. Well, I think if that's everything, we can kind of go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Do the Greater LA Pirate Party people have anything more that they'd like to add? Talking at Henninger and Zarathustra. Okay, one thing. Cap wants to move forward on strategizing for elections. Yeah, I think that's Greater LA Pirate Party. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. The whole point of this is to, run people for election. That's what a political party is meant for. I've been talking to some other people about this as well, and it's the sort of thing where you want to get people running for things, and even if they don't win, you still have people running. You still have people going, oh, what's this? What's the Pirate Party? What does this mean? Yeah, brainstorming on how to build a calendar of local and regional elections and find soft spots. I 100% agree. This has been my strategy from the start of trying to specifically target elections that basically have maybe one or no people running against just some person that just wins every single year. And that is just all over the place. So many counties just have these city seats that just go to the same 5 people every year because no one else runs. And I think that's a great way to start just building from the ground up, is just to target these sort of like, soft spots and just areas where you could easily just, put yourself in and just go from that. Because even if you lose, you still start to gather momentum about the movement, and you start to gather questions about the movement, and you just get more people interested in it because you just put yourself out there. We should always be aware of like special elections and elections in 2018 and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's definitely within our strategy from the start. So cool. Is there anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, cool. I think that things went very smoothly today with using Rocket Chat and Jitsi again, and we should definitely use this again in the future. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll soon have a link to this in our meeting minutes page, along with a brief summary of what was discussed. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.